I've got it. Yay. And you're watching Sammy.
Let me sort out all this. It's on a wonky line.
It's usually on a wonky line, isn't it? At the end of the day, this is going out live from here in the craft cave. So this is, you know, where we work. Sorry, say hello to people. I'm thinking it's something else. Good evening, everyone. Evening, Brenda. Evening, Irene. Those are the two names that have popped up so far. Welcome to the Art of Craft Live. This is an exclusive live that we do just for the Art of Craft. So there is a mixture of new product launches and product explanations and things like that. And because we launched the beautiful new embossing folders and we gave you such a variety of choice in this collection, we really thought it was important to give you some demos tonight and give you some explanations and go through all of the different folders that we've launched. As you know, these are all Crafts 2 folders, whether they be Presscut or John Next Door. And Crafts 2 were the first company to bring their own brand of embossing folders into the UK. So we've now moved on with the 3D embossing folders. But everything that I'm showing you tonight is available on the Art of Craft website. Sam is with me. Say hello, Sam.
Hello.
So Sam will put some, links on if anybody wants to see that, because there's some brilliant deals available on these folders. There's some little sort of deals on 4 of ours, deals on 4 Presscut, and then there's like a pick and mix on the 12 beautiful new Presscut designs. But I'm going to show you them all tonight. So we're going to go through all of the different folders that we've got. I've got a couple of demos planned for you. These are sort of 4 of the demos I've got planned. So I will probably only get through 2 of them, but I will show you, I'll show you the different options that we're going to do. So welcome to people who are just joining us. So hello, Sally Ann, Marion, Caroline, Helen Jones is watching, Sarah Jarvis, good evening, Valerie Potter. So again, just to reiterate what I've already said, welcome to the Art of Craft and welcome to the Art of Craft Live. We are going to be live now every Saturday night, and that's going to be a mix of exclusive product launches that are going to be available only on the Art of Craft. There's only going to be the launches of different deals that we've got and different sort of product focuses. And there's also going to be lives like this tonight where we're going to show you recent new products and show you demos on how to use them, talk you through them and show them and everything. So for those that are joining us, thank you and welcome. If it's your first time, hello. If it's not, hello back. What we would say is, and Denise Thompson has just put the perfect example on. If you want to ask a question, then just put the word question in your comment and then your question afterwards, and we'll try and answer it either as we're going along or at the end. So, Denise, do you think they'll be available tomorrow in Bedford? Yes, they should be. They've all set up. I'm not sure if they've got all of them on there. I would imagine they will have, but I don't know for 100% because obviously those guys, poor Jane, Mark and Penny are all in Bedford setting up, and we're obviously here in Sheffield, so we don't know exactly, but we'll find out for you. So these are 4 of the examples of the John Next Door new Christmas embossing folders, and it is lovely to be able to share these with you because embossing folders take so much longer, so it takes longer to get them in. We're always trying to get them in at the beginning for the Christmas launch, but this is the point where we're starting to make our cards. So those are the first 4, but one thing I want to run through first for everybody is we had a question earlier in the week about the new storage box. So we're going to be doing a lot more on this and we'll be launching this properly later on. But I did want to answer that question because the lady said, what was it, Sam? What's it for? Yeah, it's for loads of things. This is actually sized so that you can fit your flower dies and all your leaf dies in there. It's actually sized as sort of like a 6x4 size, but it is a brilliant, really tough, seriously tough, because I haven't broken this one and I've had this one about 6 months box. Really good clip that keeps it literally, I mean, look, clip on and close. But inside it's got 6 separate boxes. So you've got 6 really, again, tough clip closing boxes that will hold things like your flower dies. It will hold things like your die cuts. I think it was originally described by the manufacturer as a die cut storage box to put your die cut flowers and things in. But you see, it fits perfectly that. One of Jane's ideas was for the gardeners, was to put all your seed packets in there. you know, that go absolutely everywhere. But to me, this was the idea that Leslie and I came up with, and why the original thing was for your embellishments. So there are 6 boxes in here, and they take a lot, but it wasn't until I was sorting this out earlier I realised how many open packets of black and white pearls I'd got. It's quite embarrassing. And I'm going to show you where these came from. This is my drawer of how I keep my embellishments. Literally. This is how I keep them. And you cannot find anything at all. So I found that one of the best things for me to do was to actually start putting them into here. So I've got, so far, one which has got my white and my black pearls in there, and one that's got all of my sparkle faceted gems. And again, I never realised you don't use things if they're stuck in drawers. So you're going to use those. But I've got so many in there, all the different colours, and it keeps everything neat. So for me, this first one, because I know I'm going to have more, will be my embellishment box. So I'll have one with my crystals in. I'll have one with my crystals in, one with sort of the twine and things that I've got in, loads of things in there. But we wanted to go through that because somebody asked what to do with it. That's terrible, John, your box is much better. It is, Yvonne. To be honest, how much neater is that? And I will, in my style, put little labels on them, but I'll be able to keep all my embellishments nice and safe. Now, one thing Sammy did notice on this, which is difficult because I haven't got a pile of embossing folders, is that it will actually take all of your embossing folders. It won't take them upright, but it is actually a really good way to store your embossing folders all together, just like that. And you will actually get a lot in there, but you could also keep those, because they're separate lock boxes, have those separately, so you could split it out and do it like that. So I thought that was a fantastic way. You can see here all the prep I do of sticking codes on and things, so I know what the code numbers are, because I know people are going to ask. But Sam asked that I went through this, so I don't know, how much is this? Sam, can you remember?
£11.68.
Joking. It's £11.68. That's the sort of thing I would give. I'd have at least 2 of, and I will have at least. Well, I'll probably have 4 of. You know what I'm like.
You have too many.
I have to have double. Sammy's saying I will have too many. It also really bizarrely fits on the shelves. It actually fits on the sort of like cheapy shelves that I have, so it's perfect. But I wanted to run through that first because I felt it was really important to answer people's questions. So if you've got a question, pop the word question at the beginning of your comment and then ask. If we don't spot it, we'll try and write it down and we'll try and answer your questions as we're going through the show. But tonight is about the embossing folders, and that is what we did want to go through. And these, I absolutely love these folders. These are John Next Door ones. These are the first 4, which are the first 4 Christmas folders. I'm just cutting a little bit of black card off camera so you can see the designs a little bit better before I bring the samples in. So you've got this one here, and Sammy's going to have to give me the code for this one. This is the retro baubles. And I love this. This makes me think of anywhere from sort of like the 50s all the way through to sort of like the 70s with these really sort of retro style baubles. And I'm going to show you the card I've made. And this is one of the demos I've prepped. I just think that's such a nice background. It will work as a background for you to put all your flowers and all your die cuts and everything on, because the pattern is small enough. The baubles aren't massive, so it has to be a main feature. But you can, if you did like this one, like this one I've done, is you can use it as a main feature on a card as well. So that is your, what would that be? That would be JND 491. So that's JND 491, which is the retro baubles, and they are what, $6.95 each, but get the deal. The deal's far better. Then we've got pine cones, which is JND 493. And this one has been really popular, hasn't it?
Would it make more sense to go in like 9.2 than 9.3 than 9.3?
It would have been made sense to go in order, but I don't go in order, do I? I'm the sort of person who goes, this one I think is really nice, and this is going to be my first demo. Because what you've got is the pine cone itself is 3D and really shaped. whereas the foliage on this is almost like the 2D. So it really works in a 3D way. This is the sample I've done with it. And there's loads of, I think you've got a technique coming out on Wednesday of extending this one, haven't we? So there's a video already filmed showing you how to extend this one. Oh, our lovely Leslie's watching from all the way over in wherever she's on holiday. I don't know where it is, I can't remember. No, but this is, you can see your bauble is very, your sort of bauble. Your pine cone's very 3D, whereas your leaves are actually quite flat, but the detail is really there in that one. So this is this is JND 493. So then I'm going to move on to the next one, because these are available as a set of 4, and I would get them as a set of 4. So I've got to say the next one is probably my favourite. And Sammy hated this one. And then you used it, didn't you? And you absolutely loved it. This is Retro Snowflakes. So this is JND 492. This is Retro Snowflakes. And it's got that same retro look as you have with the baubles. They work so well together as a pair.
The embossing on that is...
The embossing on this is so beautifully crisp. For such a detailed embossing folder, the embossing on this is so pristine and precise. I'm going to show you the sample. So that's the sample that we've done with it. But I've got to say, this is one of those folders that comes alive when you actually use it with something like your satin card. And satin card is something that a lot of the time doesn't emboss as well. But, you know, we are all about demonstrations. We're all about showing you how to use the products. So what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to show you what happens when we emboss a piece of satin card. So this is just a piece of satin. I think this is from the Vintage Gold Craft Artist Gloss and Satin pack. But it's the embossing on this that makes a difference, because look at the detail in that. And see, the paper's not cracked at all. Absolutely no cracking or anything. That has come through so crisp. But that to me looks like something you've bought that's been done on a big professional machine. It doesn't look like something we've done at home with a 3D. So that is JND 492 Retro Snowflakes. And again, I'll just show you the card I've done with one of my favourite techniques where we can make them quite subtle. Yeah, so what I'm going to show you is Amanda's asked, have you writing questions?
I've had a few questions.
Sam's writing a few questions.
How you coloured them and stuff.
Yeah, so I will go through that of how I've coloured them. We will do that when we get to the demonstrations. So I just wanted to check there that Sammy, bless him, is writing down. He's got so much work to do on this. It is absolutely crazy running it, monitoring it and everything. This is Hawthorn, and this was designed to match with the Hawthorn die set or the Pinecone die set. So, oh, I don't know. Poor Debbie Elizabeth can't cope. Bless you, sorry. Wait, because there's actually 20 folders in total. We're doing them broken down. This is, I thought this was like Hawthorn. This was the berries in a similar way as I'd done that. And this is a really, really sort of sweet one. And embosses beautifully, but leaves you this space in the middle so that you can stamp your embossing. You know, you emboss your sentiment in there. You could put a wreath in there. You could put any, like the spring wreath that I was using, if you caught the show on Wednesday, would fit so well in here. But it's also sized to match with the small circles. And I think this one's from the box kit. But here again, a different technique. What I've done is a different technique on each folder. So there's 20 different styles or techniques or variations for each one. But I think this is this is watercoloured. And I think that just looks lovely. But again, this is one that wouldn't just be for Christmas. You could use this all year round. You could colour those berries as if they were olives. You could colour them in yellow and make them almost look like tulips. So you could get away with it being flowers. There's a lot on this one. So that's your that's your Hawthorn, which is JND 494. Now, what you can do is get all 4 of these. So if you haven't already, you have got an opportunity to get all 4 of these. And the whole set of 4 is available on the Art of Craft website. There's a link on there. But these are 25.47? No? 25.56 gets you all of them. And they are like $7.99 folders. So there's a good saving on that. So you will get all 4 of these. So you will get the Hawthorn, the retro baubles, the retro snowflakes, and the pine cones for that one. So shall I do a demo of one of those while we break it a little bit? Yes, so I'm doing what I'm told by my producer / director.
Which one are you doing?
Shall I do the simple one first and do that one, or do you want me to do the colouring one?
Do the simple one.
I'm going to do the simple one first. This is one of the easiest because this is using an old-fashioned, this is basically doing, it's like an old-fashioned letterpress. People remember letterpress, but it's really quite simple to do. So I'm going to take my folder, and all I need to do is open my folder up, and you'll have two sides. Think of it, as I always say, like belly buttons, an innie side and an outie side. Yeah, and we're wanting to pretend this is almost a stamp. So I'm going to fold it back a little bit so that it lays flat. I don't want it laying up like that. I want it laying flat. And all I'm going to use, yeah, I'm going to pop some black card under so you can see. That's better. There we go. So I've got it nice and flat, and I'm using VersaFine in Vintage Sepia. And again, I'm not sure if this is available. I know the black is, so if you're running out, because I had to buy a new VersaFine Onyx Black this week, so I ordered it from the Art of Crafts. I knew they had it, but I'm not sure about the sepia. Is it not? Is it available? Oh, it's available. There's
3.
Oh, Sam put a link on. Yeah, there's 3. Sorry, guys. You know how much I love this. I might have to have a spare one of those. All I'm going to do is, like I'm inking a stamp, I'm inking the folder. Exactly the same technique. So I'm just trying to make sure I've got it all covered, just like I would do if I was inking a stamp. And I don't have to worry with the VersaFines, because it's an oil-based ink pad. I don't have to worry about it drying quickly or anything. Although it's quicker drying than the VersaFine Clairs, because it's oily, it's stickier. So I get a more consistent look. But don't think, oh, I've got to really, really rush this. So straight down like that. That's it. Then, because I've got all of these kind of set up, I've got here a piece of watercolour card, or you could use a thicker, sort of like a hammered card or something. I want something that's a little bit thick for this. Yeah, is that light tapping, John, says Amanda. Well, it's light tapping to me, but it probably sounded like I was banging it with the camera. Sorry, guys. I'm going to put that piece of watercolour card in, cut to 5 3/4 inches, because whilst the folders are 6 by 6, I don't like to waste card. I'll get 2 of those. And what I've done is, remember, I've inked the flat bit, the innie bit. Think innie belly button, ink that side. Close the folder. Keep it nice and secure, and you get an idea then of what you're going to see. And then I'm just going to emboss it. Now, the sandwich for 3D embossing folders through the Kaleido is base plate and your 5mm plate. If you've got the Go Power, it's your base plate and your B plate, which is your 5mm plate. For other machines, you will have to check and test or use the manufacturer's instructions. But everyone is different. But your standard, if you, like a Sizzix Big Shot, it's a similar plate combination. So I've just run it through. I've gone forward and back, and I'm just going to lift it and check. There we go. Okay. And you see, ooh, I've missed a little bit. Yeah. So I'm just going to close the folder. I'm going to rotate it round. I'm going to put that back on. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter if you miss a bit at all, but just wind it through slowly, pull it back again, and don't worry, because you don't want it to look completely solid. You want this to look like you've handmade it. But you see now, there we go. I've transferred all of that colour onto that background. So I've got those leaves standing out in beautiful crisp white. And I've got those pine cones. Now, the pine cones, because they're so 3D, they do look a little bit stark white. So it's really, really simple. All I'm going to do then is to take my VersaFine. So I'm going to bring that back in. I'm going to grab one of my finger daubers. And I just want to take some of the vintage sepia on my finger dauber, work the excess off so it's not too heavy onto my Crafts 2 mat, and lightly shade over the top. And that just, of each of the pine cones, and that just tones it in. If I want any more, pick it up from the mat. But if you can see, I'll show you there, you can see the ones that I've shaded and the ones that I haven't. And it just suddenly drops, knocks that whiteness off and makes it look really, really realistic. So I think it's a great technique for something like this. And again, you could do it in black, but because it's pine cones, it really works well in the vintage sepia. And then all I've done for the card is matted and layered it onto a piece that's 6 inches. Then I've used card from the canvas card. Now I should explain, somebody asked this the other day. The canvas card packs, we've called them coordinations packs. So it's a coordination pack of 4 colours. It's canvas card in there, and it's the browns that I've used for this. And I've used the 2 darker shades around there, just making them 1/8 of an inch bigger each time. And then I've cut some of the autumn leaves, or the oak leaves, and then some of the pine cones in those 2 or 3 colours from the coordinations canvas card, stamped a little sentiment using my stamp press, my little stamp precision press, and put a little bit of ribbon on it. And that's all I've done to finish that card. But that's exactly how I've made that background. It's such a quick thing. But I was thinking, you know, for autumn birthdays, autumn weddings, that would be really nice. Invitations, that would look lovely on. It'd be really, because everyone's getting really naturalistic, aren't they? We've been looking at some wedding photos today where everything was done in wooden shapes and absolutely gorgeous. It was Sam's sister's wedding. Lovely. Sorry, they've only just gone. So that's a really quick, useful technique, but works so well with that folder. So that is using the JND 493 pine cones embossing folder, which should be $7.99. I think it's $6.95 on offer, but it's part of the set of 4. So you can actually get the hawthorn, the retro baubles, the retro snowflakes, and I've put it down somewhere crazy, and the pine cones die as a set of 4 for $25.56. Hey, I've remembered. So those are those 4. I absolutely love these. I'm going to show you another demo of these in a bit, but I want to go through that. And again, everything is available on the Art of Craft. So the live that we're doing tonight is here on the Art of Craft website. If you want any information, there's any products you want or anything else, simply click the link or go on to theartofcraft.com, is it?
Yeah, it's
art-of-craft.co.uk. Pop onto there and everything's on there. So those are those 4, but the next 4 I wanted to show you are the 4 new Presscut, so PCD ones. And these are actually based on flowers that we've done in the past. So these are actually all based on flower stamps that we've done in our 2J's range. These have been drawn or pulled together and designed by me. So we're starting with PCD 269, which is a 3D rose corner. And if you notice here, we've got those beautiful roses and those leaves. And then it's actually got the die that we launched recently, the Presscut die, which was the tall crosshatch, has been used as a background. So that would look lovely with the die cut on top of there. And to show you the sample that I've made of this one, all I've done with this one is I've used the Fusion Shades Mica Magic, and I've just embossed it onto some of the sort of chestnutty colour from the Coordinations canvas card packs, the brown one. And I've just used Mica Magic on top. And that to me is a beautiful card for a happy birthday. I can really see 70th on that, but I can even see with sympathy or thinking of you. I think that's such a handy folder to have. But again, these are available as a set of 4, so you are going to be able to get a set of 4. So have a look at all 4 of them first. Then we've got 272, which is the Periwinkle Circle. I think this is absolutely beautiful. And this was based on our best-selling Periwinkle stamp that people absolutely, loved. It sold out. And this is the sample that I've made of that one. And all I've done here is just embossed this onto normal white card, 300 GSM white card. And again, I've used the Mica Magic infusion shades just to colour each flower individually. And I think it gives it such a beautiful ghost. Like, it's almost like it's an impressionist painting, this one. But this takes no time at all to do. This is so easy to replicate. I've just used 4 different colours and green, and just used a finger dauber to put that one on. So that one is PCD 272 Periwinkle Circle. Then the next one we've got is the Lily Corner. So this is PCD 270, which is the Lily Square Lily Corner. Honestly, I'll get my words right one day. And again, in this one, we've used the beautiful lilies. So you will have a matching stamp from 2Js that can be stamped in the middle on a piece in the centre, because we've used the same design. Sorry?
You don't get the stamp with it.
You don't get the stamp with it. We did a stamp in 2Js, but it's got, again, those lines from the crosshatch at the side, just so that it takes it out to that square. And again, beautiful sort of piece lily. This is the sample I've done, and again, this is a really simple one, because all I've done is I've embossed this in Craft Artist Essential Card in black, and then I've gone over the top with white Mica Magic, again from the Fusion Shades palette. That's it. Literally nothing else has been done. I've just used, and I used my finger for this, I didn't even use a dauber, and I've gone over and just put that in white. And I've gone with the sentiment from the Handy Sentiment set from John Next Door, Sent with Love. But again, this is one that would really work with sympathy, thinking of you. And I saw a card earlier where someone put a beautiful one with a cross. That could go in the middle. There's a lot of different things you could do with this one. And you could obviously cut it out and make it into a frame. So that is your Lily Square, which is PCD 270. Then the final one for this 4, this is actually using, we've called it, so it's PCD 271, and this is called Open Flower. But this is the periwinkle, I think, that we did originally. I didn't use periwinkle as the name because we'd used that before, but because it's a beautiful open flower. And it's very, very similar to the original stamp from 2Js. So hopefully you can see that design in there. It is so gorgeous. But I'm going to show you the sample because it really shows it off. Because to me, that looks as if it's almost like porcelain. So this is just embossed, and then I covered the back like I've just done in the demo with VersaFine in Onyx Black, and then I ran it through and I've corrected anywhere it missed by using a black alcohol marker. So it's got that raised feel, but I think that looks as if it's been done in porcelain. I think it's a really, really nice, different thing. So those are the 4 new Presscut floral embossing folders. I think we called it the summer collection, or that's what I called it in my head. So you have got the periwinkle circle, you've got the rose corner, you've got the open flower. Sorry? Flower.
That's what you call it.
Flower. And you've got the lily square on that one. So again, all 4 available as a set, and they are same price as before, so $25.56 for all 4 of them. There is a deal if you want all 8, isn't there, as well?
Yes.
So Sam's going to have a look for you, but if you want all 8, so the 4 Presscut.
4 Presscuts, and then the
4 Presscut.
And the 4 JND.
And the 4 JND, the 4 new John Next Door.
$47.94.
$47.94. That's even more of a saving, isn't it?
It is.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm just surprised. So you can get those 4, and you can get the other 4 as well. And that's less than £50. So those all available on the Art of Craft website. So have a look on there. But you can buy them individually. Everything is available individually for you. So should I do another demo?
Yeah.
Which one?
That one.
That one?
That long one.
No, that can be quite a quick one. Yeah, we're trying to get as many quick demos in as we can, because that's what this show was about. Was obviously we're doing this, it's the Art of Craft, so we're obviously telling you exactly where you can get them from, but we want to show you the demonstrations as well, because I know a lot of people have already sort of bought these. So this is a technique I came up with last year before, that loads of people have done, but it works so well for this. So it is really, really simple. I'm using 4 shades of Fusion ink, and I've got 3 gold and 1 pearl. Doesn't actually matter. I think the gold works really, really well for this. But all I'm going to do is, so I've got a square of card that's 5 3/4 by 5 3/4, and I've already embossed it with the retro snowflakes. So I've already embossed that, and I'm turning it over to the deboss side. So again, think innie belly button. Think that you can go in. Right, so Dot said, when I try embossing my card, always buckles. What am I doing wrong, please? It's too much pressure in your machine, I think, Dot. It's either that your card isn't the right weight. So I would always emboss with 250 upwards, although I've embossed in vellum at 120 and it's worked. So I would look at your card, but also I think you're putting too much pressure in, so it's going too far. But again, to show you, this is a piece of, this is 250 GSM card. Yeah. I'm going to grab the folder. I'm just going to pop it in. Simple as, so I'm not doing anything special. Yeah, bring my Kaleido in. I'm using my base plate. Nope. It's there. So I'm using my base plate, my folder and my card, and my 5mm plate. And it's never as tight as you think it is. I don't spray my card with water first, as you can see. I just put it straight through and run it through. Like that, nice and simple. I don't find I need to spritz my card with water. It's more for thick watercolour card, or really thick sort of embossed, heavily, not embossed, but sort of like the heavy weight cards that you've got, you'd need to do that. But can you see there, that's completely flat. Yeah. The pattern is there, it's filled completely, but it's not buckled or anything. So I would think, Dot, it's either your card, or more likely you've got too much pressure in your machine and you're pressing it too much. Start lighter, check the embossed design, and increase the pressure until you're happy you're getting the right piece. But yeah, I don't spray it first. So because I've got the sticky mat, or the multi-purpose mat, I can just put that down. I don't have to tape it or anything. So I'm going to start with the azure, and all I'm doing is splodging blobs on. Literally, that's it. Into the debossed side. Helps if you don't break your pieces. So I'm going to switch to the blue because I've managed to break the top off my daubers. Look, happens to all of us. That's why I always have a little packet of spares. I always have a packet of spares with me. Oh, Sammy's just said. Sammy's asked a question.
Do the blenders fit the box?
That would, I need something to store my blenders in.
Because of course we do the cases, but we
Yeah.
fit in there as well. Oh,
Just.
just.
Oh yeah, they do. Look.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to need another one then, because I want to. That would be so much easier to store them in. I could see them.
And Deborah's just said also cut your cards to size when embossing as well.
Yes, sorry, very, very important. Deborah's just said this. Cut your card to size when you're embossing. Don't emboss a bigger piece and let it overhang unless there's something specific you need to do for that technique, because that will make your card warp. You need it to be. I always go for 5 3/4 inches square. Slightly smaller than the folder, but the size of the design, and that works better. Oh, Auntie Kathy's watching. Say hello, Auntie Kathy, Sammy.
Hello, Auntie Kathy. Oh, but it's not Craft Cave,
Oh, it's not. Sorry, I forget. Remember we've been doing this for so long on Craft Cave. So I'm just putting blobs down. Like I said, this is a technique I came up with for using embossing folders about a year, 18 months ago, and I'm sure someone's done it before
I've got a
anyway.
question.
Sammy's got a question.
Does the ink pad have to be juicy?
It doesn't.
You need to repeat my question.
Yeah, so Sam's question was, does the ink pad need to be juicy? I've been using these gold fusions for well over a year now, if not longer. Some of these ones with the colour swatch on them are my originals. So they've got to be 18 months old minimum. So look, they're just not juicy at all. They don't have to be. So I've gone through them with my passion fruit and put some blobs of that on. I'm now going to go through with my blueberry, and I've lost. This is why I need to use the. Oh, it's there. It's right in front of me. So what I'm doing is almost filling in gaps. Again, those circles with the blueberry. How much easier is this doing it on the mat because it doesn't move? Yeah, perfect. Then I'm going to go back in, but I'm going to take my blueberry one and I'm just going to just polish round and take off any really obvious white bits. Yeah, I don't need it quite as heavy, and that will give me a little bit of shade and tone. So at this precise point, this is where you think, oh, I've made an absolute mess. And that is not going to work. And the magic comes when we take the ink pad. So there we've got our messy piece. I'm then going to use my VersaFine in Onyx Black. Now, as I said, I did buy a new one of these. It does use up your ink pad quite a lot doing this technique. I'm sure Kathy's found that. I know she's done that an awful lot. So I did get a new one. But again, I got mine from the Art of Craft. They are available on the website. And all you do is flat rub it over. But look, the magic just appears. No, they're not. Oh, Sammy's just checked. They're not. But wait until they will be back on, I think, next week. Maybe I had the last one then. But you see, we've gone from that to that. And once this starts to dry, I don't know if you can see on camera, the gold shines through the black. So you're getting the gold shining through the black.
Nicholas has said she wears gloves.
Oh, Nicola wears gloves. She doesn't get messy fingers. All I do is I have hand sanitizer. That takes everything off. That cleans everything because it is an oil-based. So I just go over. And what I used to do before I had this mat, I used to do this on another piece of card and waste a whole piece of card. And now I don't have to because I know I can just clean this really simply. But there, look. We've got all those different tones, but think of the different colours you could do that in. Think of the different shades of ink you can do that in. And again, I really hope it's showing. I'm not sure it is. But in real life, all that black is shining with gold because the gold comes to the surface. And the longer you leave that, the more the gold will actually come to the surface. So if you can see there, you're going to get flashes of gold far more than you would get with anything else. Yeah? So, as I said, something I came up with to show, but I know from speaking to Kathy, she said, I think people did it quite a few years ago. So I would never claim that I've invented something, even though I thought, well, try that and see if it works. Everything's been done and we should always share our work. Yeah. But all I do is clean my mat and clean my fingers, a little bit of hand sanitizer, because that won't just wipe off. And it's straight off. And that's so much easier and cheaper than wasting card, which is what I used to do, or trying to get, I don't know if you ever tried to get VersaFine off things. It's an absolute nightmare. But I've now got a perfect thing. And again, this is now, as the gold's starting to come through, that's really starting to glitter at me. All I've done here is added on our 6-inch frame and our 5-inch frame and a few little gems stuck on. And that's simply it. But again, think about cutting out snowflake dies in a piece of card you've done on that colour. Would really, really work. So there's 2 demos for you. That's using the Retro Snowflakes, which is JND 492, which is available on its own, or it's available as a set of 4, if you want the 4 sort of John Next Door ones. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you through 4 at a time. But I'm going to take you through the next sort of new 12 of Presscut embossing folders. And we didn't realise we were going to relaunch so many at once. But there's plenty of stock, so it's going to be time for people to watch. Yeah. Oh, Nora's off to a friend's 60th birthday celebration. Isn't that nice? So, yeah, we're not off to anything, are we? I don't think.
No.
So, I love this one. So I'm going to start with the first 4. So the first one I'm starting with is, I'm going to wrap this a little bit over, PCD 279. And this one is called Chrysanthemum. And I thought this had got a beautiful Chinese look. And I've got to say, I probably started with one of my favourites. I mean, I've got too many favourites. That's the problem. Yeah. But all I've done with that one is just embossed it in black, and then I've rubbed any of the gold fusion ink pads over the top, because on black all you see is the gold, remember. So I could use exactly the same, one of the same colours that I've just used. So that is your PCD 279 Chrysanthemum. Absolutely beautiful embossing folder. I will get shot for saying that word too much, but it's one I absolutely love. I'll just show you the folder itself. It's a really detailed pattern. Yeah, I think that one's really, really nice. Yeah. Yes, Susan, you can use a different colour than I used on the technique I've just done. I use Vintage Sepia. In fact, I've used VersaFine Clair. There's a sample I'm going to show you where I've done a similar technique with VersaFine Clair. So that's your Chrysanthemum. Yeah. Then we've got your PCD 281 Butterfly Bouquet embossing folder. And this is a really pretty one. This one I've actually done on silver mirror card, coloured with alcohol pens. And then I've embossed it again on vellum, and I've foam mounted it on top so that the actual vellum is softening the alcohol colour. So to show you the folder, I'll put a bit of black in again. It's a really pretty folder, this one. So this is PCD 281. And this is the Butterfly Bouquet. Now, all of the 12 I'm showing you are available as a pick and mix. So you can buy them individually at £6.95, or you can choose any four for £25.56. So you can choose any four of these 12 for the offer price, which I thought was really good of Jane. And apparently it took them a long time, the guys in the back office, well, I say the guys, Charles in the back office, to actually be able to work out how to do that for you. So it's, you know, he's really worked hard to get that as an option. Yeah. Question, says Michael, how many things can you do with an embossing folder? Infinity, Michael. If you think, I've done 20 samples over the last 2 days for 20 different folders, and I've used a different technique or style on all 20 of them, and I haven't run out of all the things I know you can do. So that is your Butterfly Bouquet, which is PCD 281, which I think is a really pretty one. So next we've got another sort of similar one, but this one has a definite design. And I think in the bottom section where all the embossing folders down there, there's the original test piece that Sammy did that he might pass me if I'm very nice to him of this one, because I was really impressed with it. This is PCD 278, and this I've just called Toile. Now, when we sent this through, the manufacturer actually said, "Have you is this right? Have you spelt it right? What is Toile?" Amanda, no, but we'll run through that one. Yeah, that's the one, I think. Oh, no, there's another one, isn't there, where you've done it, and you've done it with, it's that one.
I was playing with
Yeah, Sam was playing with it. So that's the folder. It's got this beautiful bird design. This is like a protea, but then the butterflies through loads of different flowers. It's best to see it. And this one, all I've done is embossed this in black, and then I've rubbed over the top with the Sunfruit gold fusion ink pad, because the Sunfruit doesn't have gold in it, it has copper. This was Jane's idea, so if you're watching, thank you, Jane. But the Sunfruit just gives it a beautiful look. But to show you this one, this is the first one sanded and tested, and he used a piece of card he'd done the mop-up technique on, and then he just went over the top with a black VersaFine ink pad, just to give that, show that detail. So this is, you know, sorry, so too many of favourites, and I'm not going to nick Leonie's words and say, you know, favourite, but this is 278, which is called Toile, which is Toile, and it's based on a French design, which is Toile de Joyer, which is this sort of floral and views and things. So that was that one, and I think that's a stunning folder. So remember, you can choose 4 of these for £25.56. I mean, you can have all of them, but that's crazy. There's only me that has to be a completist and have all of them. Now, this, I think, is a really nice one. So this is the 4th one in this, but these are all sets like that one. This is called Carnation Wreath, and this is PCD 283. And it's called that because it's got little carnations in there, proper drawn carnations. It's got 2 main flowers, the leaves, and then all the little flowers in it. You know, a really nice wreath and a really nice space just to put a really simple sentiment in. But this is the sample I've made of this. And what I've done here is I've used the Pearl Fusion inks and I've coloured into the deboss area using the little embossing sticks. So I can't remember the code, but I think Sammy's going to find it for me, bless him. We have to pay for this later.
20231.
So these are CT20231 and these are the little mini daubers. And all I've done is use those to colour inside. It's so easy. So there's no colour over the top. There's no skill required for this, but what an absolutely stunning wreath that is, with those two larger flowers and then those carnations running around it. I think that's really nice for the summer. So that one is PCD 283, and that's Carnation Wreath, which is that one there. Again, all of these are 3D folders, and all of them are available as part of the pick and mix at $25.56 for any 4. Right, next, Sammy. Sorry? I've not done it in code order, I'm sorry.
It's winding me up.
It's winding Sam up. I do it in code order for myself, but I don't for this. No. So that's those 4. I will remind you all, show you all of the samples at the end. Sammy's passing in the next 4 for me. So this is one where we said we can do that technique with any colour. So this one is PCD 288, and this is called Thistles. This is beautiful. This is like a general background, but it looks like a thistle flower that's been done on it. But I'm going to show you the sample of this one. But that's the folder. You can still even see the ink that I've done on this one. So you can still see the ink where I've done it. And I've done a sort of reflection on here. So this is using that same technique as I did in the first demonstration, but using the VersaFine in Vintage Sepia. This time I've used VersaFine Clair in 3 colours. There's actually another colour under here. But how detailed is that? And then I've rubbed over again with a finger dauber with a little bit of the ink on just to show those colours. So that one is PCD 288, which is Thistles. Then we've got, this was a favourite, actually, because I was showing some of these designs. This was a favourite of Dawn Wheeler, wasn't it? She absolutely loved this one. So this is PCD 280, and this is Poppy Frame. So this has got really blousy poppies, and I've gone for a completely different look for this. So instead of doing, you know, bright red coloured poppies, I've embossed this in vellum. I've then spray glued it onto a piece of flat card, so I get all that beautiful, delicate, like it was white work. And then I've just taken some of the silver Mica Magic from the Fusion range. I'll just show you the Fusion Mica Magic palette. So I've used that sort of dark sort of silver there on my finger and just lightly rubbed it over to pick up the little bits of vellum that are embossed. And then using the sentiment lines, I've just stamped. And if you notice, look, it fits. It's almost like we planned these things. I've put the Scent with Love with the little sort of floral things in the centre and just heat set that in silver. So, but that's basically how I've done that one. So that's that one. Similar. Yeah, I've got the wrong palette, but that's the colours I've been using. So that one is the 280 Poppy Frame, which I'll show you again with the black card in. Works any direction. That's the way I've used it, but it will work in any direction at all. But a really sweet folder. Yeah, so that's that one. Next, I'm going to move on to this one. Now, Sammy really wasn't sure on this one, were you? I really like what I've done on this one. So this is PCD 282, and this is Exotic Butterflies.
It's not got an order, so I can't comment.
Yeah, Sam's not, I've not put them in order, so Sammy can't check it, bless it. But there's different layers of butterflies, but you see it more on the sentiment. They're really exotic. So this is, I think, did Michael ask? Somebody asked. somebody asked if we could use other colours to do that technique. You can. This is using VersaFine Clair in Bluebell over the top. So the same as I did the black, but this is actually using a sheet that's got pickup on it. So I got the ink on my mat, I spritzed the mat to spritzed the ink, and then I just used a dry piece of card and picked it up, embossed it, and then just rubbed the Bluebell VersaFine over the top. So that one is PCD 282 Exotic Butterflies. The next one is, I think this is one of your favourites, isn't it, Sammy? This is PCD 287, and this is Regal Frame, and this is one of Sam's favourites. This has got a beautiful Regal frame, like you'd get in like Louis XVI's court or something like that. Would look absolutely stunning, cut or embossed in gold, in mirror card, in satin card, in any of those cards at all. This is the sample I've made for it, and I will film this as a video technique of how to get the frame out, because it's really, really easy. So I will do this as a video technique for you. And again, all I've done is use Mica Magic all around the frame, very similar to what I did if you saw Craft Cave this week, just to give that beautiful sheen and shine. And then I've used, these are glass bottles and metal leaves. They are crafts too. I don't know if Jane has them on the website. They're from a company called UT. But I have used them. They're also the ones that I used on the chrysanthemum card. But again, have a hunt, guys. Always have a hunt around the Art of Craft website. Don't forget, it's free postage over £20. So it's free postage over £20. Postage to America is £12. However, if it costs, it's charged at cost. So if it costs them less than £12 to send it out, then they will refund you the difference. If it costs more than £12, they will send you a PayPal invoice to pay the difference. Once you've paid the difference, they will then send the products out to you. So if you have made an order from the US or Europe, always make sure you check your email to see if you have had an invoice to say you're getting money back or to pay some more. But I think, just again, I'm running out of words, superlative, but a really different frame. But again, embosses beautifully, and it actually embosses this square up. So this doesn't square down, it bosses it up. I can show you hopefully on the folder. It presses it upwards. So it builds it up. So instead of normally it's a dip, it's not. It's really, really good. Amanda's saying £20 on the Art of Craft is so easy to spend. Tell me about it, Amanda. It is very, very easy to spend. So that is your PCD 287 Regal frame. And then, oh, next 4, is it? Mm-hmm. So have you got those? Yeah. Oh, sorry. Somebody was passing them in to me. But so this one I think is really, really clever. So these are the 4 Presscut Christmas folders for this year. So you've got PCD 289, which is Festive Foliage, and this is a really pretty one. Gives you that space open in the middle to do your stamping or anything like that you want to do. But it's got poinsettias in 2 opposing corners. It's got the sweeping boughs, pine branches in there, holly. It's got little bits of hawthorn in there, berries. And this is the sample I've made for this one. And this was doing fusion inks, but this time I mixed 2 techniques. So rather than just blobbing it on, I used the sort of fine dauber applicators. I can never remember the name of those ones. They are double-ended. So, and I think you get a pack of 5, don't you?
There's different options.
Yeah, I'm going to grab my spare set.
They're called
Detail blending tools. You know me, I have to have an emergency.
£3.99 a pack.
Yeah, they're £3.99 a pack.
Or you can get a pack of 3.
Or you can get a set of 3 of them, so 15 of them for £10.99. That is really good. They are double-ended, so each 5-pack of tools gives you 10 ends. And that's what I've used on here. I've used the gold fusions, but I've coloured each piece individually. Yeah, don't have to be careful. Then gone over with black VersaFine in Onyx Black again. But that looks like a piece of artwork or pop art. And then just used the 4-inch layering dies to put my sentiment in the middle. But I think it really pops. And again, such a quick Christmas card to make. It really, really is. the next one is my favourite. It's not yours, is it? This one. Sammy's not as keen on this one. But I think this was mine and Jane's second favourite of the Christmas range. And this is PCD 284 Candlelight. And I thought this is just such a nice traditional image. The two candles in the middle with the flowers, you've got the sort of mistletoe, you've got little stars around it, but it leaves you as this flat area at the top where you can stamp your sentiment. So it gives you a really nice flat area where you can stamp your sentiment so it's all leaning up to it. So this one I've done is, again, slightly different technique. So this is rubbing on with fusion pads. So I've used, this one is blueberry, this one is azure, and at the top I've used passion fruit. And then I've actually sprayed my card. It's watercolour card I've used. I've sprayed it with water and run it through. So very similar to what we did earlier, but I spray the card. Then once it's dry, I flicked water over it to take away. Because remember, fusion will give you this beautiful white sort of space. So I flicked over it with water so that the background is really quite merged and ethereal. It's not sort of too solid. And then if you notice, there's a little bit of sparkle on here. So I might have used a little bit of a sparkly pen. You'll have to wait for that. There'll be something like that soon, just to give it that little bit of sparkle, but it's one that will catch the light when you've actually got it, sending it someone in the room. So that one is PCD 284, and that one's called Candlelight. The next, I'm going to do the next one on this one is PCD 285, and this one is called the Holly Frame. So again, let's pull a piece of black card so you can see it. So this is your use all the time holly embossing folder. This one has, it's almost like 4 sides of holly, the same sort of piece coming in 4 times, but it's not. Each one is a different drawing order design. So you've got really different holly. This is a perfect backing for putting your wreaths on or anything.
There's a lady who damaged her JND holly.
Yes.
From last year. That's the closest.
Oh, right, yeah. So Sammy says there's a lady who damaged her JND holly from last year. This is the closest you'll get this year. It will do same techniques and everything. This is the closest you'll get. All you've got is a void in the middle to give you stamps in. But it's actually a perfect 3-inch square. Because that's what I've done on this one. And this one, I've embossed the card in our Evergreen Craft Artist Essential card. I've then rubbed over the top with ice white pearl fusion ink. So I've got that beautiful shiny pearl finish over the top. So it looks clever. And then I've used Pearl Dimension, just dropped in. So you could use your stickles, you could use your glitter glue, you could use your Nuvo drops, dropped into where the berries are. So I've got that real pop and shine of colour. But I think that's just a really nice, different technique. And that white fusion really does make a really beautiful pearl shine. So no, Andrea's just asked, they're not all my designs. We've chosen some of these. The first 4 JND ones are mine. The first 4 Presscut are designs I've pulled from our 2J stamps. These ones are there. We've worked with our manufacturer and altered designs to have them done. So, you know, I've been involved in them. So I've been involved in changing them, but I wouldn't want to stand here and say I drew them and they were my design. They're not. That's not fair. Oh, is it Karen? Oh, sorry, Karen. I've damaged loads of them. It's usually why I have 2 of everything.
When will the white fusion be coming back?
When will the white fusion be coming back? I don't know. I don't know what we're like in stock on that one.
Gone.
Has it gone? Has it gone? Oh, it's completely gone. Yeah. Oh, right. Sammy says it's totally sold out. I don't think it is. We're not due to reorder it. We will try and find out for you. Oh, that's quite a good one. The holly card looks embroidered. You can use the Luna on this to make this one as well. So you could use the Luna on this one, which would work really, really well. But I know so many people have got, but I need another ice white. Oh, dear. So the final one from this one. So remember, all of these 12 I've just shown you, yes, they're available on their own. But I mean, all 12, what would that be? That's crazy. I don't think they're available as in a whole 12, are they? So they're available as a pick and mix, $6.95 each, or choose any 4 for $25.56. So choose your favourites.
Do that one and you can answer the question.
Yeah. So this one is called Christmas Postcard. This is mine and Jane's favourite. Festive postcard. Oh yeah, we have to be careful for everyone, don't we? And I use Christmas as a word too much. But you've got this beautiful robin, not a cardinal. It's a robin at the bottom. Because I've noticed that a lot of people are using the American cardinal these days. But you've got holly and berries and mistletoe and pine cones and pine boughs and a little bit of mistletoe, everything in there. And all I've done for this one, I thought I'd go really simple and clean. So I've cut out the frame in the middle just using a pair of scissors. I've used the Mica Magic over the top to colour it quite roughly. So it's quite watercolour, but it keeps that shine. And then I've just put a little twisted knot of like a natural colour ribbon in the middle. So there's something in there. I've just tied a knot and tucked the ribbon down and stamped the sentiment in VersaFine Vintage Sepia. Again, from the handy sentiments set, Christmas Wishes. Isn't it funny? All those sentiments, all of our sentiments fit within these folders. Anyone would think it was planned. It's not. We try, but we're not that clever. So that's the last one of these 12, which is PCD 286, which is the festive postcard. Right. So, question, which one is it?
I think I'd answer it on all inks that potentially stain it.
If I coloured over the embossing folders with the Fusion inks, would it stain the folder, please? Jackie, any ink you use on a folder has the potential to stain it, and after a while it will. But if it stains the plastic of the folder, it doesn't make any difference. In fact, to be honest with you, I've got some older ones which are quite heavily stained, and I've actually found I prefer it because I can see which side is which. It will not alter it. Once, if an embossing folder gets stained, then what will happen is it will not transfer through to the card. But plastic always has a habit, after it's had colour on it, of taking a little bit of that colour on. So if you see here, I've used hand sanitizer to clean this embossing folder. I'm using a clean side to take it off. Yeah. I'm going to go with another clean side. And you'll see I'm still getting a little bit off. But I don't know if you can tell, but that side is now, because I've done this 2 or 3 times, it's a little bit stained. There we go. It's not as clear and as white as it is when it's not. If you see the difference there with that festive postcard to the pine cones, both made in the same factory. Yeah, that one is crystal clear. That one is a little bit yellowy. So that will happen with any ink. It doesn't really matter what ink you're using. Over time, they will get a little bit stained. However, what I wanted to show you is that it doesn't make a difference to what you'll actually achieve. So I'm going to do white. Let's pull all these labels off where I've put all the codes on, just so that I knew them. I'm going to take a piece of white, just white 250 or 300 GSM card, cut to 5 3/4 inches. I always cut to 5 3/4 inches for 6-inch embossing folders, because as you can see, I will get 2 pieces from a piece of A4. If I cut it to 6 inches, I will not get 2 out of A4. And I'm cheap, I don't want to waste card. So what I'm going to do now is emboss this. I'm placing it nice and evenly in the middle. But I want to show you that even though that folder is stained, it shouldn't transfer any colour. Watch it do it, because I've not let it dry off properly, because Sod's Law says that will always happen. Sammy's smiling at me because he's like, you know it will happen. But yeah, and no matter, it doesn't matter if it's Fusion ink, it doesn't matter if it's VersaFine Clair, it doesn't matter whatever it is, it will. There we go. So you see there, that is pristine white. Yeah, no colours transferred. So don't worry about it staining your folders. Your folders are tools. They're not supposed to sit there and look perfect and be wonderfully clean. You know, the thing is, that's why I have a second packet of things, because I like to look at them in the packet and them look new, but it doesn't make any bit of difference. So hopefully that shows you, doesn't matter if it's stained, but whatever ink you use, doesn't matter whether it's Fusion or anyone's inks, eventually a clear plastic will start to stain. A bit like your Tupperware does when you put it in the microwave with beans in. Right, any more questions I need to answer, Sammy?
Are you doing 8x8 folders?
Right, we are not doing 8x8 folders. We have no intent, we're not going to do that. The reason is that it's quite limiting in terms of the number of people who've got bigger machines. What we absolutely love about working with this 6x6 size is that these will go through nearly every machine that people have got. We call it a 6x6 folder. But unlike a 6x6 die, so a 6x6 die won't go through one of your smaller machines. Things like your Big Shot, your Kaleido, your Cuttlebug. I can't think of some of the others. There was a Go Power one, wasn't there? An A5 one. Yeah, it won't. A 6x6 die will not fit through one of those die cutting machines. However, a 6x6 folder is designed to fit through those A5 machines. So don't worry. So if we did 8x8, we'd be limiting it to people who've got an A4 machine. And what we found from talking to a lot of our friends, they're not making big cards anymore. People are not making as many 8x8s. We actually looked, and on the Art of Craft website, 7x7 card blanks are the most popular. And just to remember, everyone, when you're buying a card blank, if it says it's 6x6, that's the size of the envelope. The card blank will be 5.87 or something. It will always be at least a 1/16 of an inch smaller. So both 7x7, 8x8, 6x6 and 5x5, the cards are always smaller than that size. It's the envelope that's that size. Right. Next question.
I was going to say about 8x8s.
Yeah.
There's more chance for it not to emboss on.
Yeah, the as Sam was just saying to me, when you've got an 8x8 or an A4 folder, if your machine is not sort of like almost brand new and it's not bang on its pressure, you get dips in the middle and you get areas that don't emboss as well. I've found that for a long time. I remember doing working with an 8x8 folder of little lines, and I could never get one little section at one thing to emboss properly. So the further the folder has to go, the harder it actually is and the more it will struggle. So I would try, so it's not something that we've got an intention of doing. And they end up being very expensive as well. Sorry, guys. Is all the questions?
That's what I've seen, so I've just looked through a few of them.
Yeah, so Sammy's answered all the questions. So just to run through everything that we've gone through tonight, just so that everybody knows what we've done. Yeah, Sam will take photos of all of these samples, so there will be a sample for each one of the 20 new folders. So your options are, they're all available on the Art of Craft, plus I would say nearly all the products I've used are available somewhere on the Art of Craft. And remember, the Art of Craft, free P&P over £20. There is a discount on everything, even the individuals. So even the individual folders. So of these 12 I've just gone through, you've got to pick and mix, choose 4 for £25.56, which is a saving of sort of like, what was it? 8 and 8, 16, 30. Oh, yeah, that's actually quite a big saving because they should be £7.99 each. And 8 and 8 is 16, 16 and 16 is 32. So 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. It's at least £6 saving. It's like getting one for free almost, to be honest. So that's the folders I've just shown you, the new press cut. Yeah. Then you've got the 4 new John Next Door. Sorry. You're saving £6.40. So you're almost getting, if you think the folders are £6.95 on offer, you're almost getting one for, you're paying 45p for an extra folder.
Oh, Nicola's asked a question.
Oh, what's Nicola's
All
question?
folders get damaged in the dishwasher.
Yes.
Yes and no.
They will warp.
They will warp.
Yeah. Yeah, so Nicola's asked if folders will get damaged in the dishwasher. Yes, they will more than likely warp. It's a high temperature. Embossing folders are made by injecting plastic at high temperature into a mould. Yeah, and it does depend on where they're made, actually, to be honest, on what plastic they've used and at what temperature. I would really recommend not dishwashing them. I think I've tried in the past and wrecked them. So you've got the 4 new John Next Door 3D Christmas embossing folders. And I'm missing a sample of one of them because I put it somewhere silly. It's my snowflake one. You passed it me back, didn't you? Because Sammy's clever. So these are available again individually at £6.95, or you can buy all 4 of these for £25.56 again, which is saving £6.40 on the RRP, which basically means you're buying those 3 and you're getting that one for 45p or something silly like that. Yeah, so those are those ones. Then we've got the 4 new Presscut, sort of 2J's designs realistically. And in those, oh, I don't know where I've put all of those, so I'm just going to go with that one at the minute, because I've got stuff obviously piled absolutely everywhere here. So of those 4, I've probably spread them out in here, haven't I? I've probably got them underneath, to be quite honest with you. But they're all on the website. So there's the 4 new Presscut embossing folders, the Summer Flowers ones. This is my favourite, the Open Flower. These, again, available, all 4 of them, at £25.56. And you can get all of those 4 and all of those 4 for, I think it's 46 something.
For £47.94.
For £47.94, you'll get all 8 of them. So that's all of the 8 new ones. And then finally, you've got an option of a pick and mix of having any of the 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep, so I have put a couple of the new ones in there. That's one of them, isn't it? So that's one of that one. I will learn eventually. So you've got an option of choosing any 4 of these, £6.95 each or £25.56. Yes, Sammy.
Oh, where's it gone? It's disappeared off me. The lady has one that's split on the seam. Can't be mended by tape.
Yeah, so Judith, yeah, you've got one that's split along the seam. Yeah, of course it can. Yeah, just mend it with sticky tape. Yeah, it's not a problem. As long as you could, to be honest with you, I've had ones that have broken completely in half. And all I do is I match them up and then tape it together. What I would do is tape your seam back together with normal sticky tape. When you put your card in, just tape down 2 sides. So say this one has broken, and so I've sticky taped this seam back closed. When you put your card in, take your low tack tape and put a little bit on each side to stop your card moving in there in case the pressure makes that move. Run it through, it'll be absolutely fine. Yeah, just because you've broken the seam, don't have to buy a new one. You know me, don't waste your money. But yeah, I would recommend put your card in and just put a little bit of low tack tape on just to stop your card moving, just in case that split opens up a little bit more when it goes through your machine. And the other thing to do is, if you're concerned about breaking those, run it through with the seam on the side. Yeah, but you'll find with a lot of mine, I'm trying to find one now, this happens a lot, where I let it hang out the edge of the machine and the end gets chewed up. I've got loads of my folders where the end is actually, I can't find one now, but I know it's on quite a few of these. You'll find it where your end gets chewed up a little bit.
Oh, that's my fault.
It doesn't matter. Sam's done that Sam's done it on most of them. It's Sam that breaks them. But it doesn't matter if that end's chewed up, if that bit's all broken, it will still work, honestly. So, thanks for joining us tonight, guys. It was really, and we really are genuinely grateful for all of the help and support, everybody who's watching. You know, again, big thank you to all of you. Thank you to Jane and Penny, who works so hard at the Art of Craft to get all the products out to you. And thank you for supporting them. So remember, everything we've gone through tonight, everything we use is available on the Art of Craft website. You know, you're on the page, so you know what it's about. So click over to the website if there's anything that you want to get. We will be back here next Saturday.
You'll be very tired, but you will be back next Saturday.
I'll be very tired, but I will be back next Saturday. Why?
Zoom?
Oh, yes, I will be very tired next Saturday, because I will have... Next Saturday is the Zoom class. So it'll be great to see those of you that are joining us for the exclusive Zoom class. I'm going to give you, because I think the details have gone out now. So I'm going to give you a look at what we'll be doing on the Zoom class. I've got 2 cards done with this one. So that's on Saturday, but this is what we're doing. This is the full card with the lights in. You've got an exclusive die that's not even launched yet in there. We're making these beautiful sort of gold poppies in there with the lights and everything. So that's the Zoom class, but I will still be back next Saturday at 6 because we like to keep that consistency going.
The Zoom's closed, of course.
Yeah, and the Zoom class has closed now. So if you didn't book onto it, it has unfortunately closed because we can't get the pack out to you. But there will be more Zoom classes next year, so we'll let everybody know so that they can book onto the Zoom class because they are really, really good value, to be honest. I like the fact I'm on here and I can say things like that. But thank you for joining us. I hope you've enjoyed this sort of travel around the beautiful world of Presscut and John Next Door 3D embossing folders. Choose your favourites. There's plenty in stock, so don't worry. You can obviously, you know, if there's a couple you like now and think, oh, I might need those in a bit, you don't have to get them straight away. You can wait. But take care, guys. For now, say goodbye. Say goodbye, Sam.